Get on back in here and we'll do our thing this afternoon, halfway home on a Tuesday out here on the road today. Little quick stopover in Raton, New Mexico on our way to a super fun stop tomorrow in Amarillo, Texas at the Big Texan. AJ, you said you've been by it. You can't miss it if you're on I-40, the Big Texan Steak Ranch, they call it. Yeah, we did a show there years ago and the audience has been asking for us to go back. Now we got cameras. So it should be a whole lot of fun. Tomorrow, another 3 or 4 hours of driving, and then we'll be there, and I'll be a little bit closer to getting home. Crocker Moving Services bringing you the show this hour. Y'all, if you ever decided to move, if I ever decided to move on out here, you never know. I could go native. I do have all the cowboy stuff now, AJ. I'm good to go. I don't look as much like a phony. Crocker Moving Services would be who you'd want to move you. They take your whole family. Or just do those 2-hour projects. I love the 2-hour minimum thing that they offer to people because sometimes you just don't need all that. And you just want somebody to get the difficult stuff. You can handle all the other little things. And that does save you money. And then they're so good. To be able to do that, they've got to have a sophisticated system to schedule their crews so that they can stack these smaller projects into a full work day for their folks. And so they go to all that trouble to be able to schedule it that way. And you'll just find that it's really, really helpful and worth every dime to have some real pros picking your stuff up and putting it down and taking it through these difficult places. Eric Crocker's a great guy who just runs a great business. It's crockermovingservices.com, crockermovingservices.com. Let's start back at the top, doing just a lot of news and headlines. More time for your phone calls, too. If y'all want to get in here this afternoon, we'll get some of our regulars and our favorites in here and keep going with it. Let's start with Iran. Obviously, I haven't seen any updates. Usually about this time we'll get the re-upping of the next round of military action against Iran. We had 10 nights in a row, but it's generally about this time of the day when we find out that it's been a 12th night in a row. There are some efforts by third parties to try to get a 10-day ceasefire so that they can perhaps return to some kind of negotiations. Most of us have concluded, and this has probably been the truth all along, that you're just not going to ever cut a real deal with these people. They'll negotiate as a stalling tactic, agree as a stalling tactic, and then change their minds as a stalling tactic. The stalling tactics buy them the ability to resupply, to move around, to come up with their next thing. And so we've seen this Groundhog Day situation over and over and over again. So any minute now, you'll probably get the headline coming across that we're continuing the bombing campaigns. Just to give you a real quick update on that, it seems as if our focus has been two things. It's a place called Pickaxe Mountain, and it's the strait itself. Now, Pickaxe Mountain, if you know the Iranian terrain, it's very mountainous, very difficult to get to. We 100% don't want a ground war in a country like this, and I don't think most Americans would support that anyway. But Pickaxe is very close to Tehran in the first place. It's a high-altitude complex where they have dug deep bunkers into the mountain, and some fresh intelligence seemed to indicate that centrifuges that were left over from the Fordham attack, which we did in a very stealthy way a year ago, were moved into Pickaxe Mountain. Now, we have hit that mountain before. It's also believed that some of the nuclear material might be buried in the rubble there too. So our forces are continuing to attack the mountain complexes. I know they're using bunker busters and who knows what. Trump sort of alluded that we've got sophisticated weaponry and tactics that we've not even whipped out yet. So, and he could be bluffing, he could not. The good thing is our guy is he is also equally non-committal as the Iranians, and that keeps them guessing rather than arguing his case in the media, which they tried to get him to do today in a wide-ranging news conference, to get him to comment on details about the plans or take things on or put things off the table. And it's just not something this president's going to do. And good, we don't need to be we need to still have our strategic stuff held close to the vest with the administration. So Pickaxe is fascinating. I've been trying to dig into more and more about what we're doing. It looks like from the experts that are able to get bomb damage assessments is that what we're doing is trying to cut off access to the mountain altogether. Not only an attempt to blow up whatever is underneath there and continue to hit it to make it inaccessible. They'd have to dig into the mountain to get anything out, but to just blow up all the roads, all the infrastructure, all the paths to get into this mountain. That's the other side of the story when you talk about a mountain fortress. If you're the owner of the fortress or you're at the fortress, you have the high ground. But when you're being bombed from the air, we have the high ground. Does that make sense? So we can take away from even superior high ground position the ability for them to get up that mountain and to this stuff for years to come. Not that they won't keep trying, because these are fatalistic end times theocrats that believe that they're following the orders of their God to continue to wage this war and this violence in the region. So pretty fascinating today. We'll get you updated if there's any other stuff on the shooting in Iran. The markets are blowing it off. They were up tremendously today based on real economic fundamentals and not the current situation that we find ourselves in with this Iranian conflict. Pete Hegseth and the General Joint Chiefs Chairman, General Kane, were in front of the Senate this afternoon asking for more money to broaden the budgets for this effort and other efforts that we have ongoing in the world, probably including Ukraine and many other hot spots. Could include Cuba. I mean, there's some talk of a naval assistance and or blockade in this situation with Cuba. That's kind of gone quiet. We haven't heard much about that story. And then there's Lebanon. We talked about it a little bit last hour. The president of Lebanon was in the country today at the White House because there are plans sort of underway that would have us try to stand up the Lebanese army so they could kick Hezbollah, this terror organization supported by Iran, out of Lebanon and return Lebanon back to being the Christian, peaceful nation that it has been and that it should be. They've been hijacked by these same terror organizations. So hell of a lot going on in the news today just on the international front. Here at home, everybody's watching Bertha, and Bertha's stronger than they thought she was going to be, even though she's still going to weaken, still heading toward Texas. Not much of that has changed. But Bertha, earlier, just in the last report I was able to get my hands on, Bertha had 60-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and as of yesterday, some of the modeling had those winds staying at around 50. So I'm not thinking that it's going to get to full hurricane strength, and it could do some damage. It looks like the primary threat would be flooding along the coastal cities between Louisiana and Texas. But if we get an update on Bertha, we'll let you know about that too. All right, let's hit the phones. We got some of our favorites lined up over here, and we'll go hard on the phone calls between now and 6. Live from Raton, New Mexico. We're clipping just a little corner of New Mexico on our way through the Texas Panhandle tomorrow. Here's Spider Monkey on line 3. What's up, Spider Monkey? In the truck. Hey, buddy.
Hey. Yeah, I'm coming back into Birmingham. Is this mic working good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm just wondering why Trump hadn't. He gets great ideas, but he ain't sending Howie Mandel in there.
Howie Mandel?
Yeah, he'd go in there and give him the old deal or no deal.
You know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Monty Hall for some of the older generation folks.
You never saw that?
I saw Deal or No Deal. I used to see Let's Make a Deal too when I was a kid.
And that was kind of.
Oh yeah.
Well,
oh yeah.
Okay, on the other side of the coin, I've lived in Raton in one of my past lives.
Did you really?
I did, and I can tell you something that you need to know, especially if you hadn't done it yet.
Yep.
Enchiladas in Raton are the best in the world.
Enchiladas. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
And what they got is they do this sauce with Hatch chili.
Okay, yep.
And they'll do one sauce is with green chilies and one sauce is with the red chilies. And so you can actually have a plate of enchiladas that they call Christmas enchiladas. It's some of both.
You know, as long as I'm not blowing it out like I've had Taco Bell lettuce tonight, we are going to be looking for somewhere to go eat dinner. So this is the real deal.
And
you put all that pepper in there and it'll blow up that lettuce.
Yeah, the mom and pop places. I mean, we had one night we went to somebody's house, and they actually had a restaurant during the day in their house. We ate some of the best enchiladas there, but we ate enchiladas like every day. It was what you do there. Like
There ain't much else to do. Yeah.
You in San Diego, you eat like cat head burritos and
Right.
tacos. Yeah, but in Raton, of course, being from Alabama, it had to have something to do with coal mining, and I did. I worked in a coal mine out there. It's about 40 miles from Raton, but we lived in Raton, and it was on Ted Turner's big old ranch up there. It's called Mayo,
Mm-hmm.
and we used to drive into work. We'd see bears. I mean, the big brown bears. We'd see all kinds of wildlife, caravans of elk. It's crazy. Buffalo in the wild.
Yeah.
Mule deer. That was a unique experience that I had to call because you're in Raton, New Mexico.
Well, Spider Monkey, good to hear from you. Yeah, we saw, you see all kind of wildlife signs when you're out here traveling around, and I saw my first one with a bear on it. You see a lot with elk and all that. But we were coming down off the pass. I saw a big bear sign.
If you're out there long enough, you'll cross by a sign that has like one of each animal in a line on the yellow sign.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, you'll see the elk shape.
Yep.
You'll see the bear shape, wild turkey shape, deer, all of it. Even the goat, the real
like a little mountain goat or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they go out there to hunt and things.
Some big animals out here. Well, thank you, Spider Monkey. I appreciate you, buddy. We're going to flip over to Kyle, Spider Monkey, with a little toot-toot for y'all this afternoon. Kyle, what you got on your mind this afternoon?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, are you anywhere near Fort Sumner?
I don't know. No, we're just in the very edge of northeast New Mexico, right over the Colorado border. It was just literally, this is literally just a stopover stop today. Drive as far as we could, stop, do the show, pretty much crash and get up at the break of dawn and get to Amarillo in the morning so we can do the show there tomorrow.
Okay, because I was saying if you could, you probably could go by and see the grave of Billy the Kid. Well, or your conspiracy theorists would go, that's not really him. He faked his death.
Yep.
Yeah, he's right up there with Elvis and Tupac. Apparently, they just want to get out of the limelight and find a way to fake their deaths. My question for you is this: involving Iran. I don't think Trump's going to do a ceasefire. He's been burned 2 times before. I think he realizes, look, the only way is you're going to have to really destroy these people or pound them into submission. So we know that the second option is not going to happen. So he's going to literally have to destroy them. Why does he not drop a Moab or 2, especially on Pickaxe Mountain, and just level the thing? I mean, we've got the capability. They can't shoot us down. Do you think that'd be a good idea, or do you think no? There's just too much collateral damage.
Well, I'm just not sure how effective it would be, and I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but the Iranians are able to calculate because we set a Moab off when Trump was first president in Afghanistan, I believe it was, and they were able to take intelligence from the depth of that blast and go even deeper into Pickaxe, is what I understand. So they've been working on their concealment for a long time. And so it's not as easy as it sounds. Now, I suppose a tactical nuke that could dig into the ground could do that, but I don't think we want to use nukes in this case. Being the predicate of the whole thing is that the other side can't have the nukes. So the Moab is one of the bigger ordinances that we have, and I think based on intelligence I've been able to read that the Iranians calculated to go beyond what a Moab could disrupt. So I'm not sure a Moab itself would be strong enough, to be honest with you. Maybe multiples over a sustained period would continue to blast that area. And we're hitting it with something, and I don't know what, and we may get an assessment on that at a later date.
Well, and it's funny, too, that a lot of the places he's hitting a lot of the places along the coast where they were firing at the ships, but also firing these where they were firing the missiles at the bases. But You know what is really funny is, have you noticed a lot of people have stopped with this, well, they were never a threat to us. Now that's kind of stopped because people are like, look, Look at all the missiles they've been firing off at everybody. And then on top of that, if they were to get a nuclear bomb and it was able to fire and hit one of these bases, of course, everybody says the same thing. Oh, well, we could shoot one down. Okay, even if you shoot it down, an EMP blast goes off. Everything's fried.
Yep.
We don't have that. They're not protected against that. So I know what people are upset about with gas and all that. But, I mean, me personally, I know nobody – it's not a forever war. But I think this is something like, hey, this has been 47 years in the making because we put it off for so long. I think that's why it's taking longer. But I'm with you. I hope he just sticks to the game plan and just bury him. Don't let up. Don't take your foot off the gas. And, let's get this done.
Yeah, and it's like a previous caller said, it's an interesting comparison. I hadn't thought about it that way, but Bush was criticized for not finishing the job, and the predicate and I guess the predicate there was our goal of Gulf War I was just to get Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait. We were protecting Kuwait. We evicted him and stopped there. And then later, of course, W comes along and finishes the job, whether he should have or not. They predicated that on a lot of bad intelligence, and it wound up being protracted. But regime change itself is something that the Trump administration has never said out loud. I mean, it's one of those things where that was never one of the stated goals. But what you're hearing in the scuttlebutt today is that might have changed after 90 days of failed negotiations because they keep abusing. Remember, what they're doing is not just shooting at their neighbors and hitting some of our bases, but they're shooting at innocent private shipping entities that are defenseless, and that's just vile. And so Trump is finally not going to let the world, even though the world should owe us a favor after this is done. I think he understands that the best way to end the nuclear threat and the regional threat is for us to do whatever we got to do, loosen the lid and let the Iranian people go ahead and take it off the jar or whatever. But I think regime change is now being considered, and it's on the table, and it may be the only solution to getting this straightened out.
Now, real quickly, because I know you got other callers, I was just going to ask this. With the Bush situation, and I think it's what Trump knows, I think what got us was not the ground war. I mean, yes, we went in and we did all of that. I think what got us is once Saddam was caught, it was over, we basically turned into a police force, and that's where things got out of control. And I think he knows he doesn't want to put boots on the ground, but I think he knows better than anybody is we don't want it to be like it was in World War II where we're hanging around and we're helping Germany rebuild and we've got police forces there or Japan. I think he knows that's not the right way, but do you see that, hey, and he may have to put some boots on the ground if he wants to finish this?
I got to think on that one. Got to hit the break too, Kyle. Good questions though. I don't mean to blow you off, but I got to get in there. Let's just do this break, AJ. We'll come back. Let me play catch up. Y'all stay tuned. 428 Leland Live, talking to M5. As you know, AJ, Jessica's youngest, Jack, is with us on the last week of the trip. He joined us. He flew out here to really ride home with us and do some stuff. And he's been hitting me with these. If he wasn't a little kid, they'd be called dad jokes. I mean, they're pretty funny. I'm going to call them Jack jokes. So here's the Jack joke of the day. What's the best time for a dentist appointment, AJ?
What's the best time?
2:30.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
2:30.
Yeah.
Alabama Dental will see you as late as 7 o'clock. They'll see you on Saturday, man. Dr. Brian and the whole team, I'm sure they've heard that joke around there at the dentist office. Y'all become a patient of them and do the maintenance, do the work, get the flexibility, get 4 dentists with 4 specialties, the expanded hours, the latest technology. It's everything you want in a dentist super practice. It's alabamadental.com, alabamadental.com. Back in a minute. Very appropriate tune. In the morning, I'll be through these hills and going to just to stop over in Raton, New Mexico. I've heard that version. That's one of the best versions. Townes Van Zandt wrote that song about this very area, and I've been singing it when I'm doing a project at home. I'll throw the jam zone in the barn, and sometimes it's that, sometimes it's Rick James. You never know. It just depends on what move. I'll be throwing in some Prince or Limp Bizkit. You never know, or it's bluegrass. But that song comes on a lot on some of the streaming channels that I listen to. I didn't even know where it was, and now I do because I'm right here in Raton, New Mexico, as we're continuing the road shows. By the way, brought to you by our good friends at Appalachian Foothills RV and, of course, Repair Center and Park up in Winfield. If you have one of these RVs, whether it's Class A, a C Class, travel trailer, any of these things, they can fix it. They can work on it, service it, repair it, upgrade it. There are so many things. I'll just be honest with you. These things are money pits. They are not an investment. You get one of these so you can have the freedom to travel and bring all your stuff and the dogs and everything and just hit the open road. But they are like a boat or anything else. That's a big old expensive depreciable asset. And occasionally you're going to do something yourself that's going to add to the expense. At least I do. I'll hit something or scratch something or back into something or something goes wrong, and you got to get these things fixed. So I even have a little checklist from this trip of things that I've noticed that need some attention when I get back. Some of this I can do myself, but I'm going to have them help me. It's just part of being a road warrior and getting out here and doing it. So when you need an expert, this is Tiffin country up there in this part of there go those damn dogs again. No telling what that's about. This is that Tiffin country up there around Winfield, and you can absolutely get the best expertise, especially when it comes to a Tiffin at Appalachian. A lot of these guys were originally trained and worked for the factory itself over in Red Bay and know everything there is to know about the body repair and the paint work and all that stuff. So y'all get your appointment too. Take your rides by there and get to know them, and then you'll have a reliable place. They do everything for me, from oil changes, service work on the generator, to problems that do happen. It's Appalachian Foothills RV Center, and of course their RV park that they have there. If you just want to go up there and hang out while you wait for your service, they can do that and fix you up there too. Or if you just want to stop over, you need a place to stop off I-22 coming and going on your trips. It's a nice little park that they've set up right there next to the service center off of exit 30 on I-22, Appalachian Foothills. Man, I'm getting hoarse. I think it's this dry weather out here. It is still. We're still in low humidity. What's the humidity back home, AJ? I keep seeing reports that there are all these heat advisories out for Birmingham. I'm going to look it up real quick while we're talking, because you add the humidity factor to the heat. So it's about 60% right now in the Ham. And in the current location where I am in New Mexico, we're at 20%. So about a third, and we've seen it as low as 6% out here. And, of course, the fires, that's still something to talk about. Well, I'll just stick with the trip for a minute. By the way, wide open for phone calls if y'all want to get in here in the last few hours or minutes of the show, 545-9950. When I'd never seen this before in my GPS when trying to, route to the next stop. Sometimes I'm looking for truck stops, trying to gauge distance, doing all these things before we head out in the morning. And one of the things that popped up this morning when I set this location in was that wildfires may cause rerouting on the GPS. And that made me a little nervous. There was one called an Aspen fire, I suppose near Aspen, Colorado, but they called it the Aspen fire. They'll name these things kind of like we do tropical systems and hurricanes. And so it warned me that, you could be trucking along and suddenly they're going to reroute you. Either the fire gets across the road or visibility gets so low that they'll have to shut some of these interstates down out here and reroute traffic. So luckily we didn't have to do that, because honestly I don't think I'd have been able to get the show set up in time, because it was everything we could do to get the drive done and then get the setup done. But a remarkable part of the country. I'm going to miss it. What I'm not going to miss is being on a different time zone. We've been on this time zone for weeks now, But we'll be back on Central starting tomorrow. As again, we'll be over at the Big Texan in Amarillo, Texas. It just feels a little closer to home when you get to Texas. It feels more like the South and Alabama in particular. All right, let's go to the phones. I appreciate all the calls this afternoon. We'll start with Mark up here on line 2. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Leland. It's Mark in Birmingham. I've really enjoyed following you around the West. I've been to most of those places, winter, summer, but it's been great to follow you around. Your last break kind of stole my thunder because I was going to ask you about. I should have known that you would know of Townes Van Zant's song "Snowing on Raton," and so I thought maybe I might educate you on that. But what a fabulous song, and I should have known that you were fully aware of that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his songwriting, and I did not even know. I knew about the song because also Town Mountain is the version we just played. Those guys do a lot of stuff with Tyler Childers from his bluegrass background.
I've not heard that version, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know how many people had covered that song, so when I was looking it up, I realized Townes had written that song, and I really love his songwriting and a lot of the stuff he's put out there, and and he did it himself on an album that he put out. I think it was Our Mother the Mountain album or something that was maybe had that on it. So anyway, yeah,
right.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, and while you're mentioning the time zones, I cannot believe the amount of time that our Congress is giving to debating whether we ought to have daylight saving time. I mean, is it that big a deal of whether we do or whether we don't? I mean, I've lived with that all my life. It's not an inconvenience. I set my clocks twice a year. Big deal.
Yeah, you get, and I don't mind entertaining that debate on the show this afternoon because apparently,
aren't there bigger issues that they need to be addressing?
Well, they're not doing that either, and they wouldn't do it even. I mean, we're not getting anything, and I'll speak to that in a political way here in just a minute. It was another thought I had today about the upcoming midterms. The base for the Republicans is pretty demoralized right now because these people, it's not just the SAVE Act, they've not codified any of these reforms, any of these cost savings, any of the stuff that's been clawed back by the Trump administration. They've done nothing except pass some appropriations bills. And so I believe they have disincentivized the base to turn out. The Republican base, despite the disarray of the Democrats right now, is very, very, it's I guess nonplussed would be a way to put it. And I just don't think they have the energy going into the midterms because of their own party. It's nothing to do with the Democrats. Republicans are fed up with these people.
Agreed. Well, thanks for
Mark.
taking my call.
All
Thanks,
right, buddy.
AJ.
There it is, Mark. Tom is next. Let's get Tom in here on a cell phone. What's up, Tom?
Hi, guys.
Hey, man.
Or, I guess you'd say howdy, yo.
Howdy.
How to do
Instead
this?
of,
Anyway,
instead of, hey, AJ, instead of hey now, I'm going to steal Andrew's thing. I'm going to start going, howdy. All right, go ahead, Tom.
anyway, Mondani, the resident communist mayor of New York, says if Benjamin Netanyahu steps a foot in New York City, we're going to arrest him. Excuse me, Mr. Mondani. Why don't you arrest them people that are killing children in the streets?
Yeah, this dude's hanging out with murderers at Rikers and having picnics, and then coming and saying he's going to arrest Netanyahu. We talked about it yesterday. He doesn't have the authority to do that. He's a little sawed-off dictator. Screw him. He's not going to be able to do that.
But here's the thing. I wish, and I truly, truly wish, they would release the unfiltered video of October 7th that what them Hamas blankety-blanks did to those children. And maybe, just maybe, some of them free Palestinian people might wake up.
Thank you, Tom.
Anyway, hey, have y'all been to Utah yet?
Yes, went through Moab early in the trip on the way
Moab.
on the way north. Yep.
We've been to Kanab, which they call Little Hollywood,
Oh yeah.
and they always say you got to drink a lot because you don't sweat.
Yeah, you don't realize what you're
losing.
losing. Yeah, I'll tell you. Thanks, Tom. For example, when I did the show the other day at the outside the Indian exhibit in Cheyenne, usually during the radio show, AJ's a witness. He and I will have to hit a bathroom break about once an hour, right? I mean, we're constantly, especially me, talking for 4 hours. You constantly just keeping your throat wet with coffee or water or something like that. Every host understands this, and then you got to go hit the head. AJ, I went through 7 bottles of water standing there outside in that dry heat, and I never had to leave to go to the restroom. Your body just absorbs it, and then you just sweat it out. You don't even know you're sweating. It is different. But, I love that mountain air, and it's one of the reasons to get out here and do this long trip was just to get out of the humidity. And people get that out here, too, especially people that are from the South that have either migrated out here or traveling. They'll immediately acknowledge, yep, I know exactly what you mean. We ran into one person that missed the humidity. It was this young lady that was sitting next to us in Telluride when we were out there watching the music festival, and she was with her boyfriend, and she was originally from Florida, and she's just one of these weirdos that said, oh, I miss the humidity. I want to go home. I like it when you can walk outside and just cut the air with a knife. I was like, no, girl, you wrong. You just wrong. Line 4 is Steve up next. What's up, Steve?
Hey, man, it's the High Plains drifting radio host, I guess.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. I'm tumbling like a tumbling tumbleweed.
Hey, I called you late yesterday. You were talking about the San Bernardino killer.
Yeah.
The guy was too afraid to do it. He was getting chicken to do it, and they flew him over that virgin girl who looked like, she had some genetic issues. I mean, I hate to judge, but hell, you can see the picture. And that Navy shooter down in Pensacola a couple of years ago, I saw a picture of him. And Saudi Arabia, after the Pensacola Navy guy, they announced they were going to start cracking down and making people take blood tests, marriage tests, because of some of these Muslim countries over there, they've got so many damn genetic problems. It's
not an insult, Steve. You're actually biologically accurate. It's just a sociological thing. Some cultures are just like that. They will intermarry with cousins, and y'all go ahead and make your jokes about Alabama, but they will intermarry to the point where they start to have intellectual deficiencies. And so the birth defect, the intellectual, the IQ levels and all that, because of the inbreeding, starts to manifest in some of these very countries. And the Biden administration just threw the doors up and said, everybody come on in.
And it's easier to convince them to be little jihadists, too. I mean,
it's just true.
Put a suicide bomb on and go run on a bus, because you're going to go straight to Allah or something.
Call it racist, call it bigoted. I don't care. You follow the science on it, and it's societally, if you're a sociologist, people have done great academic works on this very subject to try to study why certain cultures will engage like that and what are the effects. And it's something that you will see in some of these same countries. Yep.
In the late 70s and the early 80s, one of the biggest places in the whole country where they were having a problem with this was South Washington County.
Yep.
A town called McIntosh. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. North Mobile, right, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Borders of Mobile County. And the government, I guess, the U.S. Health Department or the U.S. or the Alabama Health Department had to step in and, I don't know if they were actually started enforcing cousin laws. No state really does that, but they had to re-educate them because they were having such feud with the Creole community and the Moa community, I guess. I'm not really sure. I was pretty young. But it's a real thing that has affected all these Muslim countries.
Well, and let's be real. It happened in Steve, it happened in Appalachia, too. I mean, it's why the blood test was there in a lot of ways in the beginning, in the days when that used to happen. It was to keep that intermarrying, to really kind of find a way to legalize it, I guess. All through Appalachia. It's not unique. It's not extremely foreign to America as well.
I think part of like West Virginia, it was the next town might be on the other side of the mountain, and unless you had a horse, you weren't really ever going to go to it. It might be 20 damn miles to get there, you know. And there was no early railroad or highway.
It's just true.
I mean-
They were isolated. And, I
Yeah.
mean, Jeff Foxworthy even has a joke he used to tell in all of his redneck jokes. He'd say, if your family tree does not fork, you might be a redneck. I mean, it's just true. All right, buddy. I appreciate you, Steve. We're running late. Let me get on to it. Thanks, man. 545-9950 if you want to get in on the conversation today. Allen and Company, next up here on the show. And I am not trying to get on your nerves talking about Christmas already, but it makes me smile in the thick of summer to think about it cooling off and the nice cool weather and all the lights and family. And it's that wonderful part of the year after we finally get to October when all that goes down. And if you're going to be doing some gift giving, or maybe you're just not sure yet and you need some inspiration, let me inspire you. If she's put up with you this long, fellas, it may be time to upgrade that diamond. And they can absolutely do you that for you at Allen and Company. Allen can keep that original setting, upgrade the diamond, and then repurpose the original diamond into something else that she can still wear and keep close to her heart. Or if it's an engagement, which sometimes people love to do during the holidays, they're the place to go and custom shop and get that ring designed exactly like you want. Maybe it's something really unique, something that's unique to your heritage or your family, or involving a date or an occasion that you want to give somebody for Christmas. There's probably not much Allen can't do. If you've got the inspiration for it, y'all can sit down and draw it out, and he can design it for you, and you can really give a special gift. I think a lot about my grandmother. Her favorite thing in the world, and I'm not sure it was a very expensive ring, but she had one of those birthstone rings. She had 5 children. She had all 5 of those birthstones in that ring, and she wore that thing to her final days. And honestly, I don't know what happened to it. In the back of my mind, it seems like the family decided just to bury her with it because it was that sentimental for her. And so it's things like that you can get done at Allen and Company. And you're dealing with the Thompsons, just a sweet family, so helpful, so kind and knowledgeable. Without all that pressure you get at some of the chain jewelry stores, all that jive they put you through when you go in there. Go see them. Get to know them, and we'll see you down the road. We'll probably be doing our friends and family live show there as we kick off the Christmas season in a few months. It's Allen and Company on Highway 31 in Vestavia. Allen and Company. Howdy, 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 howdy. That sounds like Andrew McLean music. Howdy, howdy now. You think if Andrew moved out here, you have to go, howdy now, howdy now. I got to listen to him quite a bit today. It's fun. I'm telling you, it's different listening to my colleagues when I'm not home than when I'm home. It just is, and it's like a little taste of home. I love early morning drives. I'm listening to Richard and Val do their thing. They all do such a good job here on the station. FloorTech concrete coatings, man. Let's talk about that. I've become so much more aware of these projects since FloorTech came on the show, because I'll look around when I walk into places and I look down and I'll see somebody has done one of these projects. I'm like, you didn't get the good stuff if you didn't get FloorTech, because I got educated. Kevin and the team showed me how they improved a product that could change an entire industry. These Birmingham-based folks have come up with the reason most of these products fail and fade and yellow and peel over time is because they put a lot of impurities in those original products, including one that I did about 25 years ago that instantly it started peeling after just a few months on that garage floor. So it's so nice when this works well, because you can mop it, you can clean it. Porous things are not going to things aren't going to drip down into the pores of that concrete, and it's why people want to do it. But if you want it right, you need to go to FloorTech. They have really worked hard to get this right, and they can demonstrate that to you, how their product is superior. It's so superior that they back it with a lifetime warranty that is transferable. So if you got a business, a showroom, garages are a big part of their business, they come and put this application down and it's done. It dries in 48 hours. You're not getting all that chemical off gassing because they don't put that stuff in there. It's the pure product backed by an incredible warranty. It is FloorTech. They put a K in there when they spell it, T-E-K, floortechcoatings.com, floortechcoatings.com. I noticed the story in 1819 where Congressman Mike Rogers is catching a little bit of hell because he has co-sponsored a bill that some critics believe is pretty much an amnesty type bill to give work visas to people with H-2As. Y'all can go read about it. And, Rogers has been there he's been there too long. We should not have Congress people that have been there 24 years. That was the seat that I worked in. He took that job in 2002. And I've gone gray, and his toupee in this picture still looks like it did all those years ago. Do they gray toupees as you get gray? I guess they have to color them, don't they? I don't know. Just asking.